Hi YouTube, I'm Jack, a core surgical trainee year 2 in the UK. I've had a few people come up to me to ask for tips about starting core surgical training, and seeing as I've just passed my ARCP for CT2, I had a look back and I thought of my top 5 things I wish I knew before starting. This video is made for you so that you can do core surgical training better than I did. Make sure you stick around till the end because that's where I've left the best ones, or you can just skip to the timestamps up here. This is one of the easiest ways to score points for your specialty applications. Essentially, some specialties award points for some time spent in an allied specialty, such as plastics if you want to do ENT, or some trainees might want to get more experience in their desired specialty. However, for some of you, myself included, your set of core training rotations may not include enough allied specialties to maximise your points. In that case, you can try and arrange a swap. The best way is to find someone who also likes to swap in a way that's mutually beneficial. For example, I knew 2 trainees that had 6 months of plastics and 6 months of orthopedics. One of them wanted to do plastics and one wanted to do orthopedics, so they just did a swap and they got a full year of their favourite specialty. Another example is a trainee that wanted to do ENT and swapped one of their non-allied specialties for an allied specialty, which meant that they would score an extra 3 points on their application. And that's not bad considering you don't have to do any extra work after you've done the organising. If you already know what specialty you want to do and you're serious about it, then core surgical training is purely a means to get you ready for your specialty applications. Another uncomfortable fact is that by the time you start core surgical training, you only have just over a year until your specialty applications begin. So to use your time wisely, you want to print off that portfolio self-assessment checklist and find out the gaps that you need to fill. I've included links to the various ST3 portfolio checklists that I could find for different specialties in the description below. I'm sure you all remember how teaching sessions in medical school would get booked up within minutes. Well, the same applies to surgical courses, I'm afraid. Now, I don't just mean the compulsory courses for core surgical training, basic surgical skills, CRISP and ATLS, but also those craft courses that can get you extra points depending on which specialty you're applying to. The most popular courses are CRISP and ATLS, and they book up really quickly. Actually, if you have a look, CRISP is already booked up until October 2022. My top tip is to firstly try and book them now, and secondly, you can also email the course organisers to see if they have any spare places because people always drop out. Just so you have no excuse, I've included the links to booking some of these courses in the description below. I don't get paid for any of these, by the way. Half of your workplace assessments need to be signed off by a consultant during core surgical training, and I'm sure you all know how difficult it is to get a consultant to sign something. I found throughout my training that the best way is to essentially write it out and put it in front of them, and then they'll sign it there and then. Actually, the best time to do your workplace assessment is immediately after the learning event. Some of my consultants would discuss feedback and then I would type at the same time so that we would fill in the form between theatre cases, and I think that's ideal from an educational perspective as well. The other purpose of the laptop or tablet is to make use of downtime, so that's time either in between theatre cases or even on an on-call or a night shift where you can work on projects or audits. Did you know that you should have 3 operating theatre sessions scheduled every week on average as a core surgical trainee? The Joint Committee on Surgical Training has released several quality indicators for core surgical training rotations, and these dictate how many theatre and clinic sessions you should be getting every week on average. So if you find that you haven't been scheduled to enough or even any of these sessions in your rota, then it's worth bringing the document, which I've linked below, to show to your educational supervisor as well as your rota coordinator, and they can help to book these in. I actually didn't realise this until the end of one of my rotations, where I went to speak to the rota coordinator and I showed them the curriculum, and it turns out they weren't aware of this document, but they were very helpful in getting these scheduled. Unfortunately, it wasn't in time for me to take part in them. And that just goes to show that sometimes you just need to take your learning into your own hands. It's not that everyone else isn't willing to help, it's often that they are just not aware that these things exist. And usually if you speak to them, they'll give you a hand. If you find things not working out, then there are pathways to escalate educational issues, and the first port of call is your educational supervisor. I've included the link to the quality indicators below. So unlike every other YouTube video that you just watch and leave, I want you to take some action and start booking those courses. Use the links below, print off that ST3 application checklist and put it on your fridge. Thanks for watching everyone. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more, then please click subscribe. And if you have any other suggestions for videos for me to make, please post a comment below. I'll see you next time.